A bright flash of lightning illuminated the night sky. As the rumbling sound of thunder followed the light, another flash of lightning struck the tallest tree in the forest. The light burnt every branch and leaf of the tree. Soon, the scent of burning trees filled the entire forest. Tiny creatures, too slow to outrun the raging orange flames, turned into crisp black ash. Every green thing in sight was soon engulfed by the monstrous flames. A young primate, stranded from her pack, was running for her life to escape the raging heat. A terrorized face, every hasty step she took burned her soft skin, but she could not stop. The scorching heat from the fire was enough to evaporate her tears the moment they escaped her glowing eyes. As her breath filled up to her neck, from afar, someone was slowly waving at her to come closer. It was standing in the middle of a small pond. Without hesitation, the young primate took her last strength and ran towards the pond. But just as she had thought she made it, a large branch of burning tree fell in front of her. Without having a chance to evade, she tripped on the flaming twig and stumbled into the water. As she felt the cool water fading the pain from the burns and scratches, her consciousness slowly faded away together. As the morning sun's rays shattered through the high mountain ranges afar, the ring of flames started from the lightning finally started to lose its will after burning almost everything in the forest. On the edge of the pond, the female primate opened her eyes. She realized she survived the night. Slowly gathering her thoughts again, she gazed into the gray ashes the raging fire left. She could have been in there if it was not for the strange figure guiding her. She turned her head to the middle of the pond where the figure was standing and let out a sharp scream. It was still there, staring at her. It was taking a strange form. Has it been standing all night long? She has never seen it before in her pack. It looked like one of them, but it had a strange glow all over its body. While she observed it, it was standing still, staring into her burnt face with a gleeful expression. Suddenly, it started moving towards her. Before she could even think to be wary of what it might do, it swiftly picked her up from the pond and started moving. As they approached her pack's cave, the young primate jumped off its arms and ran towards her family, yelling with joyous cries. Screaming and jumping with excitement and relief, it took some time for the pack to notice what had carried her. The girl pointed at it and murmured the sound of what could be thought as gratitude. Curious and cautious, her family approached it. After the oldest of the pack decided that it was safe, they offered a piece of meat they had caught yesterday as gratitude. It did not receive the meat, however. Confused, the oldest once again shook the piece of meat toward the strange figure. It glanced at the offering and looked at the pack with the same gleeful expression. Then, it slowly turned around, went to the edge of the forest, picked up an arm-sized twig with the remaining flame, and came back. As the pack saw it approaching them with the raging flame in its hand, they started to be agitated. Young ones started crying and hid behind their old ones, and old ones had their wary eyes locked on it. Indifferent to their reactions, it placed the flame on the ground, put a stick through the meat, and placed it above the fire. The chiseling sound and marvelous smell started filling up the nostrils of the pack. Slowly putting their guards down, they started to approach the flame. With much bravery, the young female saved earlier by it approached the flame and sat next to it. It handed the stick that held the meat to the girl. Hesitantly, she took the stick and took her first bite. A juicy taste filled her mouth. Wide-eyed, she turned her head and locked eyes with it. Then, it uttered a strange, unknown word, pointing at the flame. Por.